Anthony scored 28 points in the Lakers' 121-118 win over the Grizzlies, moving into 9th place on the all-time scoring list. Head coach Frank Vogel called him, quote, awesome on the evening and also praised him as a, quote, great culture fit. Melo is looking for his first championship after spending much of his career with the reputation of being just a scorer. So, Shannon, how much could this season help save Melo's legacy here?
Well, I don't think his legacy needs selling. Saving Skip. He's a top 10 scorer all time, so we know he's an elite scorer. A title on his resume will complete it. It will be fit. There's nothing else to accomplish. I'm a top 10 scorer. I'm a 75th anniversary member. I have a championship. So it wasn't, and look, Skip, in the West, that meant he would have had to get through Duncan or Kobe. We believe those two guys are top 10 players of all times. In the East, he'd had to get through a prime LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
We believe LeBron, no matter what you think he is, 1, 2, or 3, he's a top 3 player all time. So if there's no shame in not being able to get past Duncan and Kobe in the West or LeBron in the East. Now, and plus, Skip, he's had to reinvent himself. For the longest time, Carmelo couldn't see himself as a sixth man. He couldn't see himself as a bench player. Skip, you remember when he went to OKC?
Do I?
Hey, P, they had me about to come off the bench.
He laughed.
And it turned out that was the role. He had to swallow that. Skip, it's hard. I'm a 75th anniversary player, and I'm coming off the bench. How many 75th anniversary players, not very many, have been what Carmelo Anthony is?
Thank you. That's the point.
Yes.
Yes.
And had to reinvent themselves as now, I'm not that anymore. I'm this, and thrive in that role.
Yep.
So, Skip, a championship will complete his resume. Job well done, Melo.
Yeah, but you just made the case that I'm about to make after you said that his legacy doesn't need defending. Well, it does, because these kind of legacies, these top 10 scoring legacies, they don't end like this was about to end.
Skip, so he'd be the only player on the top 10 that didn't have a championship?
Okay, but look at the sad demise of his career once he left New York. He does wind up in Oklahoma City as the third wheel with Russ and Paul George.
Right.
And it's just sort of sad and hard to watch. And he's 16 points and 6 rebounds, but he says, I'm a starter.
Right.
And then he goes to Houston, and he winds up playing only 10 games the next year.
They let him go.
They sent him to Atlanta, who immediately dumped him. And he's out of the league for the rest of the 2019 season because nobody wanted him anymore.
Nobody wanted him.
Okay, well, that's about as pathetic as it gets. That's pitiful because he didn't deserve that.
Right.
But that was the state of his game at that point, is that he wasn't in good shape like his best friend, or one of his best friends, LeBron. LeBron went out of his way to stay in super,
pristine,
like perfect shape. Going into year 19. And remember, Melo's about 6 months older than LeBron, also in year 19.
Right.
Well, only lately has it dawned on him, maybe I should get in shape, right? Because now he's in shape.
But this is who Russ should talk to.
Okay.
Melo. Is because Melo had to reinvent himself when he went to another team, and he was the third wheel. It was Russ, it was PG, it was Melo.
It requires swallowing a whole bunch of pride. I don't think Russ has the reinvention gear in him. I don't think he has the reinvention gene in him. He is who he is and will always be. But Carmelo had to say, well, I'll go to Portland. I still want to start. So the first year they started in Portland in the bubble, right? And he averaged 15 and 6, and he just looked like a shell of himself to me because he was not in condition. Then last year, he embraced the bench role. You know, I'll be the super sub, and I'll come in, and he averaged 13 points and 3 rebounds. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He shot 41% from 3 and 89% from the free throw line. And all of a sudden, you start seeing the stroke coming back because he started to get in shape and get his legs back underneath him the way he did in the good old days, the great old days, especially in Denver.
But Skip, let me ask you a question. If Melo doesn't win a title.
Oh, well, it's not great for him. I mean, this could really solidify.
This will complete his resume. But Skip, it's not like all of a sudden if we don't win a title, we remove him from the 75th anniversary team. We don't look at him with one of the elite. This completes the resume.
Okay, I get the complete, and I will root for that to happen just for him. Not for LeBron, but for him. I will root for him because it would be a joy to watch him win a championship.
Right.
And it would be.
And then all the big guys. I mean, LeBron have one, Chris Bosh would have one, Melo and D. Wade.
And Westbrook. And if LeBron can win one in spite of Russell Westbrook, I'll be in awe of LeBron. I told you that would actually put him in the GOAT conversation for the first time, in my opinion. Okay, here's the problem for Melo. They have serious firepower depth that's all hurt or gone right now, starting with Trevor Ariza as a veteran playmaker, a tough guy, and then Wayne Ellington and Kendrick Nunn, and LeBron loves THT because he was coming. I thought he was going to be a starter this year.
And he still might well be, Skip, but here's the thing. This is what I know with Melo. I have a proven commodity. I know Melo can go get me buckets. I can still dump it. Skip, he still got a post-up game. He still can drop that big caboose down on you and turn and shoot over either shoulder. He still can do that.
What did Kobe Bryant, the late great, say? He was my toughest cover because of the caboose. He's like a bull. He's just like, you can't keep him from the lane. He can still do that.
He can still do that. Now, the three-pointer, Skip, I don't know if he can keep that three-point shot going like it's going right now. But if he gets hot like that, so I think Melo stays in the rotation.
He's 12 of 18 from three. That's 67%. I don't think that's going to last.
But long as he stays over 40, we good. You see what old Gold is. You see what old Gold is, right? You thought, he can't do.
Okay, it's 3 games, and history says that he's a 34.5% career three-point shooter.
We're rewriting history.
Are you? In year 19. Well, you have become nothing but a spot-up three-point shooter.
That is what we are.
While Russ has the keys to the kingdom,
you
which
know we did like that. We put that thing on and laid it up. We go to the hole still.
Laid what up?
The ball. LeBron.
He shot a running hook shot in the fourth quarter, and I'm like, well, where's that been?
Saving it.
He shot 4 shots in the paint last night. That's not LeBron James.
Well, Skip, it's hard to shoot the ball when you got the ball. I mean, shoot the ball in the paint when you ain't got the ball.
Well, the wrong guy's got the ball in his hands.
But we got to boost his confidence.
But Melo's got the right idea. See ball, touch ball, shoot ball. It's got to be gone. Huh?
That's all right.
I told you, I haven't seen anybody as anxious to shoot this side of a Clint Eastwood Western, right?
You're right. But guess what?
Gone.
We'll work out the kinks on your team on Tuesday.
All right.
Well, great. What's left of my team? We got nobody.
I want to go back to this. We've got some details on Tom Brady's 600th touchdown pass and the fan who wound up with the game ball. Great stuff here.
Yeah, good thing that fan wasn't me.
How is he fitting in?
It's been tough. It's even been tougher than I thought it would be, Skip. I know it's going to take some time. I'm not going to even attempt to try to evaluate this acquisition until after the All-Star game. And I said, Skip, it's not a natural fit. And we got to stop thinking just because someone is a great player and you put all the great players together that you're going to get a smooth transition. Because these guys, Bron needs the ball, Russ needs the ball. Russ plays one way. He only knows one way to play. And he's played that way basically his entire career, basically since Kevin Durant. And I'm not so sure, and you said that's one of the reasons why KD left, is because of this. I'm going through. I don't give a damn who else is out here on the court right now. This is what I think is the best for this team, and I'm going full speed ahead.
Yep.
And he's shooting 35%. He's 111 from the three, and he's turning the ball over at an alarming rate. Now, I like to think that this is going to improve because, like you said, they got OKC and they got Cleveland coming up, and they got, San Antonio. But as you play better teams, you need to execute better. And right now, they're not executing because I don't know if they really know what they are. Right now, they just got 3 guys that are top 75 players of all time on the court together. That doesn't make you a good team. You're going to have to find roles. Guys are going to have to be accepting of those roles. And right now, they're just trying to find out what's the best way we can maximize Russ. That's the thing, because I'm not worried about LeBron. I'm not worried about AD. Russ. What is the best way for us to maximize what he does really well, Skip? And right now, I don't know what that is right now on the Lakers. Now, I know he can score, know he can rebound, know he can assist. So I'm something for the Lakers. We know what he did for Washington. We know what he did at OKC. But for the Lakers, because he's never had 2 players like this on his team at one given time.
Yep.
When he's been this. Yeah, he had James Harden, but they were different players. KD's been KD since he set foot in the league. But James Harden was not the James Harden that he is now. So to play with AD, to play with LeBron, we're asking an awful lot of him. But it's gonna take a while for this thing to come together. I'm not gonna even attempt to evaluate it. So don't come in here on Wednesday, because after we beat San Antonio, which we will win that game.
Oh, big. That's big of you. It's tough.
Oh, no, that's your team, right?
Well, they used to be back in the day.
Oh, so you want Tim Duncan? You want Tim Duncan to walk through that door?
He is not walking through that door, but unfortunately, Greg Popovich is walking through that door without Tim Duncan, Manu, or
Tony Parker.
Or Kawhi, for that matter.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Shannon Sharp.
Yes.
You love horror movies. So,
I do.
Of all your Halloween horror movie favorite villains, who's the top one? Would it be Jason or Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger?
Yeah.
Who would it be?
Pinhead,
yeah.
You know what?
You can have any of them.
Yeah, that's what this is. This might be a combination of all of them.
You should throw them all together on Halloween night and think, this is Russell Westbrook. This is the guy I got to root for because he is my worst nightmare.
Right.
Because he is the polar opposite of LeBron James, who remains the best passer in basketball. And to your point earlier in the show, that sweet little feed down the baseline to Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
It's just